punta is a 9-night dance. You know, you do it in these little corners, and your mother hears about you the following day. My mother used to say, I heard about you that you were dancing the punta, and why do you do things like that? You're a well-brought-up young lady. The punta is a dance that they would say it's not decent, maybe because it is a sensuous dance. It's a courtship dance. Punta is a dance of the hips, of the waistline, very little shoulder movement. The feet move almost invisible because you're not supposed to be shuffling a lot, and you're not supposed to be moving a lot the way they do in Punta Rock. No eye contact with the male, but certainly there is that communication, there is that sexual innuendo which is transmitted to the male, and he is the one who goes, you know, crazy all over the place, going behind the woman, in front of the woman, kneeling down, etc., etc. And her head is almost, you know, high in the air. She doesn't care what he's doing. But that is the message of the punta.
In the very same manner we link reggae to Jamaica, we are seeing punta being very Belizean, punta being the Garifuna music that is linking Belize with the rest of the world. The Garifuna culture has played a very prominent role in this entire country of Belize, in that the Garifuna are the flag bearers of the culture. They are the ones who we're using as examples in the promotion of other cultures. I am showing them that if the Garifuna, that is only 7% of this population, can do that, you can do it. We can do it.
Around 1966, 1967, some colleagues and I had noted that whenever there was a group would want to present Garifuna dances, Garifuna songs, all they did was walk around, pick up one or two old people. At the time, they seem to have been depicting just a lot of drunken people and a lot of old people, maybe even people who were not able to speak about what was going on, even within the dances. This was around 1966, 1967, shortly after self-government, when certainly we were beginning to forge a Belizean identity, and an identity which necessitated that we, as Garinagu or as Creoles or as Maya Indians, be conscious of who we are and what we are. We thought that if we were to choreograph our dances, if we were to do some research, if we were to do some retrieval into what the Wanaragua is, what is Sambai, where did it come from, what are the themes that we have in some of our songs like Paranda, then we would have done something that not only the Garifuna people would be proud of, but also the Belizean people as well. Wuri Baga Baga was called upon by government and other entities not only to perform in Belize but also to perform abroad. Since that time, what has happened is that in all our Garifuna communities, you have a dance group or the nucleus of a Garifuna dance group. In our schools, we have the same.
Research plays a lot in the Garifuna elements that I use within the national company choreographies. In the sense that once you research and you capture the true Garifuna spirit and true Garifuna culture, you would be able to bring it back to the studio and stylize it and put it onto the stage using possible the everyday dances such as the punta. Armando Crescento of Honduras, of the ballet folklorico Garifuna de Honduras, is one of my mentors. Meeting him and working with him has made me very creative. Looking at his company take the Garifuna culture and use it on stage and touring it worldwide, and meeting them in Belize has inspired me to move more and to study more the Garifuna culture. The national company is very young, and we see a very huge future for us. We see, especially in the modern dance era, where to be identified with a Belizean style, we would have to use and research the Garifuna dance movements. Let's say we would work on the punta and seeing the movements of the body and for example, we look at the Cuban style and they have the ripple. They have a very forward motion and a very curvature of the body. We would move side to side, which is a different movement. So we would identify differently. This also would enhance modern dancing in the sense, and the movements of the Jankuna dancers and the Jankuna costumes gives you another way of working the feet of the dancers. Just imagine that being placed within the modern section of the National Company.
In Chicago at the Center for Black Music Research, we're looking at what we call interart, and that is how the arts interact, the relationship between music, dance, and costumes, and language also very much important. This particular project is to examine the music, the dance, and the visual arts, so the costumes of John Canoe, of Wanagagwa, and to analyze how they interrelate and how they help to express ethnic identity, Garifuna identity. As far as a tradition of New World tradition, it has survived and been retained here in the Garifuna culture and has been preserved much more than in any of the other New World African-derived cultures. And I think that's very, very important, because as African Americans look at the Garifuna Jankanu or Wanagagwa, they can see how things have been retained. It's a window back to Africa, but through the Caribbean and specifically through the Garifuna culture.
When you talk about Garifuna music, you're talking about songs. And of course, songs have words, songs tell stories. So right away you see the connection between language and music. If we lose our language, then our songs are bound to go as well.
I find that the Garifuna language works best for me when composing punta rock songs. There are certain things that you're able to say in Garifuna that you could not say in any